What up guys, I'm Kristen from Be My Travel Muse, and today I want to talk to you about something very important. So last week I came out with a video about how I went to the Philippines for the first time in 2013. I didn't really connect with it, and so I went back and I ended up really loving it and thinking that it was actually super awesome. And that all came down to the locals being really wonderful towards me. People had, of course, a lot of feelings about the video. Everything from people telling me that maybe I should just be dead to people being like, I love you, come back anytime. So I think it's a clear difference between those who actually watched the video and those who did not. But one thing I kind of didn't see coming is how many people said, oh, the problem is you went there alone. You shouldn't go there alone. I was too lonely, or I should have hired a tour guide to show me around, or I should find a man. Thank you so much. God, if I could just find a man, that would just solve all of life's problems. It would be like Disney. We could live happily ever after. We could have like 10 kids, and God, I would just never have a bad time anywhere again because I would have a man with me. Yeah, no. It had nothing to do with me being alone or not being alone in the Philippines, because the truth is I wasn't alone. For those who watched the video, you might remember that I said I was traveling with someone when I first went to the Philippines in 2013 who I really didn't connect with. And the truth is, whether you're traveling with someone or by yourself, if the person you're traveling with is not someone who you really get along with and are having a good time with, then traveling will be the loneliest feeling in the world. Nothing you do is going to be fun. And seriously, when you're traveling, all of your best and your worst qualities come out. But if you're by yourself, then there's no one around to fight with, there's no one around to disagree with. And I personally love the freedom of traveling solo, and I think it's super empowering. I think everyone should do it once in their lives. And I have a huge problem with people telling women that they need a man, that they shouldn't go places alone, that it's not safe. Or I especially liked the comment where the guy said, because I'm a Western woman, I didn't like the Philippines. None of this is true. It is all absolute bullshit. I went to the Philippines alone the second time, which was just a few weeks ago actually. And in Siargao there was one moment where I was like kind of crying, and I thought, okay, let me take the camera out and talk to you guys about how it is sometimes difficult traveling solo, because I don't want to paint a totally rosy picture. So you can click here to open that window and watch it after this video if you want. But as you'll see, everything totally worked out in the end. And the reason why, I think, is because I was alone. So I find when I'm by myself, local people come up to me way more often because they're just really curious about what's going on. Why are you alone? And I don't mind these questions at all. I understand that there's a lot of curiosity around a woman traveling on her own. People want to know, where's your boyfriend? Where's your husband? And most of the time I just say, I'm on my own. Hey, I do what I want. But I thought maybe you should have the advice of a local as well. So here's Ferna talking about traveling alone as a woman in her late 30s in the Philippines.
Hi everyone, my name is Ferna. I am a solo traveler from the Philippines. So is it really safe to travel solo in the Philippines? I could say yes, it is really safe to travel solo in the Philippines. Although I am a local in this country, but I've been to more than 30 provinces out of 81 provinces. So I've been doing that for 20 years now, on and off, traveling solo in my country. So why do I say it's safe? Actually, Philippines is really, it's true. It's really, we are really friendly. We're actually generous at the same time, and we're also hospitable. I travel solo, but I don't feel like I'm traveling solo. I travel solo, but I also don't feel like I'm in a dangerous place. I travel solo, but then I don't feel that I don't have friends. I travel solo and I don't feel that I am lonely traveling solo in the Philippines. People are really with their open arms. They would really give you like, what do you need? We can help you out. They're really very helpful. It's not only in a tourist area, also in a very remote area, especially in a very remote area. In the Philippines, when you travel solo, but I also cannot deny the fact that I'm also receiving the same exact concerns and questions whenever I set foot in a new island or a new place or a new province. I'm always bombarded with questions. The common question when you are traveling solo, and it's really annoying. Sometimes it's really annoying. Why are you traveling alone? It's actually not safe to travel alone. Traveling alone is dangerous. I have to give you an idea that people in the Philippines are really going to question you on that when you travel from one place to the other, and it's really common for us to question, because traveling solo for a longer time, or even traveling solo even for just a day, is really an unconventional life for a traveler like us. Not that they're judging you, but it's one of the things that they're very, very curious. Why are you traveling alone? Because it's not common in our country. If you will be asked why you're traveling solo or you're traveling alone, I hope that you have to think that it's not, they're not judging you. And at the same time, you have to let them know, also to give them an awareness that traveling solo can benefit. Of the 20 years that I've been traveling solo on and off is actually more of good and positive experience that I've done in the Philippines. I hope that by my words or by my unique experience, you would be able to feel that you can actually make it happen to travel alone in the Philippines.
So, to review, it is awesome traveling alone. It is awesome traveling alone in the Philippines. For me, it meant meeting a bunch of awesome people who maybe wouldn't have felt as motivated to reach out to me if I was with others. I will never forget going to fill up my gas and this granny in the Philippines going, "Are you by yourself?" And I told her, "Yes, I am." And she goes, good, more free. And I just thought that was amazing. So for those of you who are maybe afraid to travel alone or have this idea that women shouldn't travel alone, I just want you to know that yes, you can. Yes, we can. For everyone out there who's considering doing it, I hope that you have a bit more encouragement to make it happen. I have written a book on the topic, actually. I've been traveling alone for over 5.5 years now on every continent except for Antarctica. And I am still alive and well. So all of my tips are in the book. It's linked in the show notes below. And I hope that you will subscribe and hang around and see some more videos about traveling alone, not just in the Philippines, not just in Southeast Asia, but all over the world. It is possible. I want to encourage you to do it. And I hope that this helped to change your mind. Let me know in the comments below. Bye guys.